These are the plaintiffs, Claire Jackson and Ivan Dew. They say they hired the defendant to cater their wedding, which was supposed to be at a historic museum he caters exclusively for. The guy took their deposit knowing full well the museum was sold and would be going through a major renovation during the exact time of their wedding. Of course, they had to change venues and have decided not to use the defendant's services, and they want a full refund. They're suing for $2,749.62, the amount they are owed. This is the defendant, Bernard. He says he's worked with the plaintiffs from the very beginning and showed them many venues to hold their wedding. He had no idea about the uncertainty of the museum location, is ready and willing and able to cater their affair, and sees no reason why he should take the loss and refund their deposit. He's accused of withholding important information.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiffs hired the defendant to cater the wedding at a very historic museum, and they say the defendant knew the museum was closed. But the defendant says they never said the museum was the only game in town. It's the case of night not at the museum.
Douglas, Claire Jackson?
Yes.
And Ivan Doe?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You are suing Bernard's business, his hospitality business, catering business?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You've asked us not to use your last name or the name of the business for $2,749.62 that you put down on a deposit that you now want returned to you. All right, what's going on, folks?
Oh.
Did you get married already?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
not
you're
yet.
still waiting.
Yeah.
All right. So what happened?
So, well, I guess from the beginning, we were engaged back in April of last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And when we started looking for a venue, one of the first places we thought of was the Dow Museum. It's in St. Augustine. And we had both attended—
St. Augustine, Florida.
St. Augustine, Florida.
Okay.
Yes. And we had both attended a wedding there probably like 6 years ago and just fell in love with the place. It's very charming, rustic, historic looking. It's outdoors. And
Well, St. Augustine is a beautifully historic city. Is that where you live?
we live in Jacksonville, about
Okay.
45 minutes from
Right.
St. Augustine.
My child is a fourth grader. Therefore, she is heading to St. Augustine as I think every fourth grader during Florida History Year
That's right.
in about 7 days.
Yes.
Okay, so go on.
So we contacted the Dow Museum, and they provided us with Bernard's information. They said that if we'd like to rent the venue, then we have to go through Bernard.
Because you are
I'm their exclusive caterer.
you're their exclusive caterer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, tell me about the Dow Museum. What is it?
It's like a cluster of old historic houses that between them there's like a courtyard and gardens, and it kind of is about like a city block worth of old homes that have been preserved, and you can rent out the venue for weddings.
Does anyone have a picture of it?
We do.
We do.
Okay. Can I see it? What is this?
This are
You bound. I love it. Wait, I love when someone goes through effort. Hold on.
We both work for advertising agencies.
You both work for Apple? Now, they leave a message, you leave a message, or you talk to somebody and they refer you to that?
I spoke with someone at the Dow Museum, and they gave me
they gave you his
his telephone number.
Okay.
But they referred to him as Bernard. I didn't know if he just worked for the Dow. I was at that time I did not understand that he had his own business with an exclusive catering and event coordinating contract with the Dow. So it wasn't just for the
Okay, so you then send them the email that's dated June 9th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and in that email you say, thank you for your interest in the Dow Museum of Historic Homes for your special day. We are this, you don't want us to say your name, it's a great catchy catering name, a full service catering company, and we are the exclusive catering and event planning company at the Dow and have been for almost 3 years now. Okay, so you go and you visit the Dow with him?
with him and his wife.
Okay. All right.
And they showed us the venue that we
How old are the houses at the Dow?
They were built in the 1700s.
Wow. Okay, so go on, I'm sorry.
Oh, and so we got to see kind of where the ceremony would be, and then where the reception would be afterwards, and you have the whole gardens and everything to have the event. So it's really a beautiful location. And then it was about 2 days later that after Ivan and I had talked it over, we said, let's get an estimate for this, for this venue, because we were
so
definitely
you two
interested.
work it out, and there's a contract that says the event will be at the Dow, that you will be the caterer, that it will cost X, and then you put a deposit, which represents, I guess, half of it, of $2,749.62. Of that, there's no dispute, right?
That's correct.
But then,
after the new year, because our date was so far out that it was probably around the New Year's, we said, okay, let's ramp up our wedding planning, and to kind of kick it off, we went back to the Dow to take pictures and start, planning on what we wanted to do.
what's the date of your wedding?
October 20th of this year.
Of this year. Okay, go on.
And so we went on a Saturday to the Dow Museum, and we spoke with you have to pay to go into the museum. So we spoke with the ticket taker and asked if we could just tour the property because we're getting married. And we were kind of hoping we wouldn't have to
nickel and dime and asking for admittance fee. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. And she kind of got this concerned look on her face and said, who are you working with? When is your wedding? And we explained, it's in October. We're working with Bernard, because we just assumed.
Who else would you be working with?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And she said, I don't know if you've heard or not, but the Dow Museum is in the process of being sold to the Children's Museum, and they've had to cancel all the weddings in May, because I guess it's like a lease to purchase agreement. And so May is whenever the purchase is finalized. And we were shocked, and we thought, okay, well, no news is good news. He hasn't told us anything about this.
Maybe sometimes no news is just no news. It's just no news. Like, there could be bad news and you just haven't heard.
Yeah.
All right, so
we
go
were
on.
a little optimistic. So we immediately, I texted Bernard.
This is the difference between someone who's married 20 years and someone who's we're optimistic.
Still hopeful.
And we continued. We took the photos. The photos I brought today were some of the photos we took that day. And we just, thought, okay, Bernard will let us know kind of what the situation is. Best case scenario, we thought it was just a change of name and everything else would stay the same.
In January, when she's calling you, do you know there's going to be a problem, or you haven't heard yet?
I haven't heard yet.
Okay. So when she leaves the messages or text or email, you then try to find out. What do you find out?
I leave several messages for the new owners, trying to figure out, hey, what's the deal? When are you guys taking over? Because it's all hearsay from the staff. Hey, so they said after I finally get a contact with her, and she said, we do not want to have any weddings until after May 15th. And I said, well, I have one in October that I would like to.
Wait, until after May 15th?
After May 15th, no more weddings.
Oh, no. So not
She
that they
would
don't want
prefer.
any more weddings until May 15th.
No.
Okay, until after May 15th. They don't want any more weddings after May 15th.
Right.
Okay.
So I told them, I said, well, I have one that we've booked in October, and I'm trying to see if you can work it through, because this is what they wanted. And I spoke with her. She said, well, we're possibly going to be under construction. But we are willing to work in the best of our means.
I don't know what that means.
And I don't know.
They can't predict what kind of.
Exactly.
That would mean that they'd have to guarantee there's no construction at her wedding, and they're not going to do that.
And she didn't.
Right.
She didn't. But she said she would.
So what happened? Why am I here?
So if the museum was the whole point here, can the plaintiffs get their money back? What do you think?
Yes, I think they can.
Why?
Because they paid for it, so.
Well, they paid for a service. They didn't say specifically, but everybody knew it was a museum.
Yeah, so I still say yes.
What do you think?
Absolutely. They paid for the service, didn't get it.
Okay, but the defendant's just saying, hey, we could cater it in another place.
But that's not what they paid for. They paid for the historic museum.
Okay, fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Well, we learned that there will be extensive renovations to the property. They're going to have like a pirate ship or like an interactive tree house, just lots of things that really
kid-friendly things.
Yeah.
We actually have renderings of the new museum if you'd like to see them.
Yeah. It'll be a lot of fun for for kids and fourth
For
graders.
kids, how about for a wedding?
Yeah, it's not what we had envisioned for ourselves, and not to mention,
I don't even think it's going to be done though. It'll be like in construction in October.
Exactly.
Did you ever meet with the people at the Dow?
Not with the Dow, but I spoke with the director of the Children's Museum, and she said that they're closing in July to begin renovations, which will take place 6 months to a year.
Oh.
So our wedding would be right in the middle of construction.
So what do? You contact Bernard and you say what?
We met with Bernard. We all agreed that given the circumstances, which was outside of our control, that it would be best to cancel the wedding or cancel the date, and he would return our deposit.
He
in
agreed
full.
to do that?
Yes, he did.
He agreed. And he said it would take a week because it was in an escrow account. It wasn't until 2 weeks till after he agreed to return our deposit that he sent us an email that informing us that he decided to keep our deposit.
Why?
Well, because they signed an agreement that it was non-refundable. And I didn't agree to say that I wanted to keep the entire. I wanted to divert the venue portion, obviously because she doesn't want to be at the venue, to whatever venue that she would like.
Except for that she can't pick a new venue because she's limited to the venues that will allow you to be the caterer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but that severely limits her choices.
Okay.
Because most venues, I would dare say, have their own catering specifications. So if the only way they found you was because you were the exclusive caterer for the Dow, and the only reason they came to you was because of that, how is it that you look at as that as not an integral part of the contract that can't be performed? Pretty integral.
Yes, ma'am.
So how is that fair to keep their money?
When you say that they were only interested in the Dow, I have emails here that they asked me to show them the other venues that we are exclusive at, which I did.
Mm-hmm. Did they like them?
They considered them.
And then?
And then they decided back at the Dow.
Right.
So I've been working with them from the get-go.
No, I understand that you have lost something. I understand that you've put effort and time,
Yes, ma'am.
and your time is worth money. But if two parties agree to do something and it's impossible to perform it, how is it okay for you to? It's not like they did something wrong. What they do wrong that they should lose their deposit? They didn't break up and then say, give us back our money, we broke up. They didn't do anything wrong. And if they only went, it's not like they hired you as a caterer and then later you showed them the Dow and they liked it. They didn't hire you as a caterer until you were the only choice. And so now what you're asking is, oh, no, I'm still willing to be your caterer, so you just go find yourself another place where I can be your caterer because I'm not going to return your money. How's that fair? Sounds awful when I say it, doesn't it?
Kinda.
Kinda, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Having said that, his business has the money, and I'm going to order his business to return it, which makes you very happy.
It's a huge relief. Yeah.
Right. Because I understand that you told our court staff that you would have no money to get married, and therefore you were going to ask me to just take care of it.
That's true.
Unfortunately, I don't have the jurisdiction for that anymore. But no, I just think this is what is right. I think you're a perfectly nice and businessman. I just think you're wrong on this call because I don't think that you have the right to keep it when it was not them coming to you as a caterer and you finding them this place ancillary to you as a caterer. It's them going to the place as the venue and you being ancillary to that. So it's just not fair. I ordered the $2,749.62. Return to the couple. Good luck to everybody.
Thank you.
Well, here he comes, the defendant out here on the losing end of this case. How do you think you look?
Well, obviously we lost, but I think the client certainly should have an obligation to their agreements as well.
Well, they wanted you for that one place.
That's just my opinion. So.
Right, and not giving them that place makes it seem kind of greedy to hang on to that money of theirs.
Okay.
All right. Good luck.
This way, sir.
All right, come on out here and tell me how it feels now that you got that money back.
It's a huge relief.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
And now we can continue planning our wedding and pick up where we left off 4 months ago when this whole thing kind of blew up.
You had an idea to have the judge do the job for you there? Or maybe,
yeah, we love her, so it'll be great to get married by her.
Well, by the powers vested in me as the hallway guy here at the People's Court, I now declare you to go sign your documents right there, right down the hallway there, all right? Following Officer McIntosh. Okay, Harvey.
Okay, in the law, this is called impossibility of performance, which means the essence of the contract can't be accomplished. And as a result, the plaintiffs get their money back. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.